It's biracial Tiffany here. Really glad people seem to be enjoying the Why Were They Staring at Us Like That video. So many views. Melissa and I are very proud of that. I'm gonna have her back on the diaries because I wasted the first half of the video talking myself, which is kind of rude. And I think we just started to talk about what we intended to talk about. So I'm setting that up right now. Today's diary is a response to a question I got in my inbox. Well, it's not so much a question as just sort of something to ponder. So, Alexis, this is for you. Alexis pretty much, you can actually check out Alexis's videos. Alexis, B-E-L-O-N. Very funny, cool vids. I like them. And just for a little backstory, Alexis is lighter than me. Anyway, she was just observing that in her biracial experience, like her opinion of black people or just the situation of African Americans in this country is less significant to black people because she has light skin. And like she doesn't feel that her experience as an African American is as valid in the community because the assumption is that she has it easier, she doesn't know what it's like to be black, she's not really black. And yet, and I'm just throwing this in, it's just kind of ironic that I think there's more pressure from the black community to go along with the one-drop rule and to only consider or identify yourself as black. So it's just like you're caught between a rock and a hard place, I guess. So she asked me if I think that light-skinned biracials are less black because they look whiter. And, you know, I don't know, but I think that's up to you. That's up to your experience. I mean, you know, I think from what I know about you, Alexis, I would say that you probably can relate more to and have more to say and a deeper understanding and experience in the African American community than I do. And this is only because of that really funny video of you and your friends walking around, and they were black friends. If I was just to like easily pick up the phone and call two friends, they'd probably be white because I have more white friends than black friends, which I've said before. So, you know, it's just like you can't judge a book by its cover. And who am I to say who am I to judge someone based on their skin color and say, well, what do you know about being black? You might know a lot more about being black than I do. Maybe not, but, you know, it's possible. And what I really was wanting to talk about is if you said that if Halle Berry had your skin tone, would she still be considered the first African American woman to win an Oscar? And this is something I think about a lot. Halle Berry in general and the Oscar, and now that she has a child that I'm just gonna perhaps ignorantly assume is gonna look whiter than black. It's like if she doesn't sort of encourage that child to have a black identity, is that somehow like giving less validity to the fact that we as like in our history now she's the first African American woman to win the Best Actress Oscar? Now, how's that possible if she has a white child? I don't know. And why can a white woman have a black baby, but a black woman can't have a white baby? technically one drop rule. This is antiquated. Who knows what birth certificates have to say now? I certainly don't. I have no children. I haven't gone there. I don't know. But these are just thoughts that I have on the subject. So I'm gonna talk about this like this. If Jennifer Beals had won an Academy Award for Flashdance, I don't know. What would we call that? I hope everyone knows that I'm like a major lover, supporter, fan of Jennifer Beals. Mostly because her character on The L Word is the first biracial character that I've seen where it's like, we'll discuss you being biracial, and instead of just, you know, perhaps implying that you're biracial, but we'll still consider you the black character. So, okay, Jennifer Beals, a lot of people, when I talk about this out in the world, are like, Jennifer Beals is mixed? She's black? I had no idea. I don't feel, tries to hide this. Clearly, her character that I'm speaking of was not originally written as a biracial person. I have to assume that she would have been ethnically ambiguous at best, but perhaps we would all have assumed that she was white. I remember when Flashdance came out, and this is, you know, I was very young, but I kind of remember my mom being like, we're going to go see this movie, and this girl is black, but nobody knows, or she's trying to pass or something, and I must have been like 5 or 6, so I didn't really get what all of that meant, and it's actually just come back to me sort of being like, well, does that have anything to do with me? Or, you know, I don't know, like, what does that mean? So, anyway, if Jennifer Beals had won an Oscar for Flashdance, I think that Jennifer Beals would have said she was black and acknowledged it, but I don't know if, like, the general opinion would be that a black woman had won. I don't know. It's a very interesting question. And, you know, I don't know if you've seen African American Lives when Henry Louis Gates Jr. found out that he was technically, genetically 50% white and 50% black, which I think is, I mean, there's a lot to be said about that, and I think a lot of people would find that. I think it's different from the experience I'm talking about, because I'm talking about what it's like to have a black parent and a white parent, and sort of be in the middle of that, the dichotomy, instead of, you know, having two people who identify as black as your parents, but finding that your lineage perhaps has a little surprise for you. Shoot, I lost my train of thought there. Why was I talking about him? Oh, reparations. And so he said, oh, what does that mean? I get half a reparations check? Haha. And I get that that's funny. But to me, like, as I think about that, I'm like, what do I think that I would deserve if we were to get reparations for slavery and just sort of the general mistreatment of us in this country? In a way, I think I definitely would deserve equal, but maybe I would deserve like 25% more, because I feel like my identity has been taken from me, and, like, you know, from the black side and the white side, that I didn't, you know, and not just me, especially not me, because I have the freedom to talk about this in this way now and to change my perspective, most importantly, and perhaps change others. And I seem to notice that the generations of mixed people younger than me have a much easier time declaring that they're both and identifying as such. And so we have created, miraculously, I think, a space for us to be both. But for me and, you know, all the generations behind me that didn't have YouTube and probably just would not have been safe for them to talk about this in this way, and they were rendered invisible, I think that deserves some kind of reparations. I don't know. I think this has been a pretty random, perhaps nonsensical video, but I always try my best. So I really thank everyone for watching and supporting me as I work through this. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to talk about this stuff honestly. So I do worry about offending people and hurting people's feelings and getting my feelings hurt too. I do. But this is important, I think, somehow. I feel like it's part of a bigger picture that I can't see yet. And I'm just trying to make my way through it as best, honestly, decently, well-intentioned as I can. So thanks for watching, everybody.